first here in this opening, so that opening hand will be important. If he's able to find a Darkness Energy to go with a Monkey Dory, get down a Ralts. Technical Machine Evolution in the prizes doesn't feel great. A pair of Gimmighoul, a pair of Gholdengo for Miloslav.
That's not how the deck works.
A little limited here for Miloslav. He is still playing, yes, 4 Gholdengo. He's got different artworks in here, so I had to double check here, but does indeed have 4 copies of Gholdengo EX. I've heard some players going down to 3, but he does have 4.
Yeah, but do you see what we have here as well? There's an addition of the Hops Cramorant, as you mentioned. It's nice for some of those mirrors. 20% of the time, you're going to run into one of those, as the odds would tell you. However, it's not this time.
Not this time, indeed, but I know both of these players are certainly going to be very practiced in this matchup. They're going to know what they need to do. And JW here, not playing Jellicent, but he is one of the players who is playing Frillish. It is just one Frillish. We'll see how he navigates things. He is going first, kicks things off with the start of a Monkey Dory and an Earthen Vessel to get a basic Psychic Energy into the discard pile. That's the name of the game for the Gardevoird deck, getting down those Psychic Energies so that you can use Psychic Embrace later on in the game.
Yeah, great way to start things off now as you have that energy in the discard. You see a few more, and sometimes it's about finding that early Dark Energy so that you can use the Monkey Dory. However, in the active spot, it's not always the case. Maybe attaching to this Pokemon so that you can retreat or at least see some additional Psychic Energies for a discard pile, whether it's being KO'd or running around. So what you need to do here.
JW going to take a moment to just check the prize cards. Earthen Vessel can, of course, find the 2 different energy cards. He could get a Darkness Energy dropped onto the Monkey Dory right away. Maybe in the back of his mind, he'll be thinking about the potential of a Premium Power Pro turn 1. It's not a card that everyone plays in Gholdengo. I'd say probably more don't play it than do play it, but something to think about when you're debating where to attach an energy for turn.
Yeah, just something to consider. However, the rest of this turn does not look like very much for J-Dub. He's holding on to 2 different supporters, which can't be played right now. I think a Super Rod and a Screamtail. It's not going to turn into the basics that you'd love to see, especially with that opening Ralts. It's just not going to happen this time around.
And no Ralts in this hand. Just a Darkness Energy to attach to the Monkey Dory. He's got Research. Cannot play it on this turn. He'll have it available on his second. And now it's over to Miloslav. Let's see what he can do here on his opening turn. He's going to kick it off with the Fighting Gong. I do already see another one in the hand. Really strong card for the decks that play these fighting cards. Even though it's not a fighting deck, searching the deck for a basic fighting Pokemon or basic fighting energy, adding them to the hand.
Yeah, I'd say one now, one later should work just fine in this situation. Miloslav now has access to Lunar Cycle because of the Soul Rock and Lunatone in play. And with the second Fighting Gong, you search out that energy if you need to. We see a couple energies in the hand as well for Miloslav to work with. So could definitely thin out a little bit, then draw up with Lunar Cycle. However, you got a little bit of bad news as you do that opening deck search, that you're running low on Gimmighouls and Gholdengos.
Yeah.
So the odds are not in your favor.
Yeah, and also that one stadium being prized, that means it's not going to be a target off the Secret Box that he's playing as his spec of choice. So not really going to have as much access as he maybe would like. We'll see if he can still find a way to get to Gimmighoul down. Now he wants to proceed forward. He does have Arven in hand, so he'll have plenty of options. But first goes for the Lunar Cycle. Not cards that are super helpful right now in the Pheasantipity, Superior Energy Retrieval, and Air Balloon. So Arven will have to be the play here, searching the deck for an item card and tool. Maybe Buddy Poffin or Secret Box. Does he have enough to go with Secret Box?
Well, there's plenty of energy in the hand. If you wish to discard them now, you could Superior Energy Retrieval them later on and not lose too much value. But what value do you really have from the Secret Box at this point if you don't have access to that Artisan? It feels like that extra piece may have been what takes it over the top for you, and instead, maybe you just go for these 2 Gimmighouls and try to draw out of this issue with Lunar Cycle. It's not like you're exactly pressured right now. There was no Ralts last turn. There's nothing coming for a while.
So just 2 Gimmighoul there in the deck. It does look like the Buddy Poffin is going to be the choice off the Arven, as those basic little Psychic-type Pokemon have been moved to the front. There's also an Air Balloon up there. Not going to be the Secret Box for the choice, perhaps saving that for later. Can be a really strong card to potentially play off a later game INO. There we go. Buddy Poffin, Air Balloon, and then the 2 Gimmighoul being played from the Buddy Poffin. Now, Miloslav could attack with the Soul Rock here. Doesn't feel very good, though. I don't think that's worth it.
Yes, it's tricky at this stage of the game. You're not really accomplishing much with any of your attacks.
They could Minor Errand running.
Right, that's the only one that even seems remotely viable, and at that point, you're still running into the threat of Monkey Dory softening up your Pokemon, which isn't the greatest news.
He is going to go that route, though, attaching for turn and using Minor Errand running, searching the deck for a pair of basic energy cards and adding them to the hand. Looks like a fighting, and I have to imagine a metal will be the 2 choices. Now over to JW. He draws for turn, and it is a Darkness Energy. That's pretty annoying to see, and that may change his route this turn. He had Research, but now is Ino going to be his choice?
Yeah, with Super Rod as the other card you'd lose in that hand, one of your rare candies, that's It's not exactly the resources you're comfortable discarding at this stage of the game.
And I know it doesn't feel too bad as well when Miloslav just added a bunch of cards to his hand, but no, JW says he's got to go and he needs to find as many cards as possible. Research is the choice, drawing himself a bunch of new cards. He's got access to Ralts through Ultra Ball, but that hand is not great.
Right, I mean, there's Earthen Vessel, so you can find 2 more energies, discard them with Ultra Ball, or keep 1 to attack with your Monkey Dory. But yeah, holding on to the resources of this hand is not exactly lining up.
And if JW is only able to get down 1 Ralts, which that does look like the case here, Miloslav's got a big opening. Boss's orders KO that Pokemon with either a Gholdengo or even something like the Solrock is very much on the table.
Oh, so that's when you switch over to the Frillish. It says, okay, I need you to maybe slow things down there. No.
Well, we're skipping a step here.
Yeah.
JW's got to get the Psychic energies off of the Earthen Vessel, and then, yes, we'll Ultra Ball away one of those 2 in order to go get himself the Frillish. I wonder if he can play. I don't think he can play the hand down enough to use the Mystery Garden.
No.
I don't think so.
Doesn't look ideal. Losing out on Turo would be the other potential discard at this stage. It looks like that's the play, but I don't know how low you can get this hand. Maybe you could see 1 card?
Yeah, well, I think with the Psychic Energy being discarded, we're definitely not going to be seeing the Mystery Garden, right, because there's only 1 Psychic Energy left. He wants to make sure he can guarantee the attack here. I have to imagine that's what he's thinking, at least.
I mean, think about the resources here already, Chip. We do not see a Ralts in play.
Yeah.
We've seen a Super Rod down, a Dark Energy in the discard, and a Dark Energy on a Monkey Dory that likely would be retreating at this spot. You are losing so much value, and you still don't have a Ralts in play.
It was a pretty rough draw there for JW off of the Professor's research. No consistent outs to his Pokemon, so he's just going to go with the Frillish, try to buy some time here. He's got Ino in hand, so got to feel like he's got good odds to make something happen on the next turn, but see if Miloslav is able to respond here to this item lock. There is the Lunar Cycle to start things off. Boss's orders as one option. If you could find Arven, would not be too bad. He's got Air Balloon. Does he have Arven? I didn't notice it, Kyle.
I didn't see it. I don't know if there's any access just yet to finding a KO at this point. There's no Gholdengo to go with this either. We saw the prize cards. They're not lining up. The Vitality Band, I don't know if we see that in hand just yet.
I don't think he's got it. I mean, if he had Arven, he's got the pretty straightforward play of Vitality Band attached to the Solrock and then take a KO here. Kind of pressure JW to do something, which is, I think, what I'd like to see in this spot if he could do it. Doesn't look like Arven's available, though. So now, what is the move? Is he going to just hit this Frillish for 70? That doesn't feel great. Minor Error running for 2 more energy doesn't necessarily feel great either.
I mean, your opponent didn't do very much. Maybe Boss's orders is something you can consider without taking a knockout. You can just move another Pokemon. You've seen a few energies discarded, a few resources not really used as optimally as possible, and maybe that's what leads to avoiding this item lock once more.
Wow, and he is going to hit into this Frillish with the Cosmic Beam, 70 damage, and now back over to JW. Does find a Psychic Energy, puts that Mystery Garden out.
That's a card.
Doesn't have a way to thin his hand down just yet. But yeah, Mystery Garden really... Oh, no, he can. Okay, so he can draw just 1 card here. Finds Drifloon.
Oh, no. Of all the Pokemon, just really hoping to find that Ralts at some point, and your opponent does not show you any great cards in their hand. It's just the Solrock attack, and you have to Iono. You need to find a Ralts at this stage of the game. Where is it?
Oh my gosh, he has to work so hard to make it happen. He does find Artisan, which can get him Ralts. He's got Ultra Ball, which can get him a second one.
But he just played a Stadium for the turn.
You're right. That's a great point.
Of all the ways to do this, it's just not working out for J-Dub. He's running into so many walls.
This is a certainly scuffed game at this point, but still plenty of play available. He is going to finally get a Ralts down. He's got Mew EX in the hand, Bravery Charm, so I mean, hey, we could get a restart rolling. I don't know if Mew EX is necessarily the card you want to be putting into play in this situation.
Yeah, I don't love...
But he may have... I mean, his hand is nothing,
You have to at this point. Like, you don't have any other cards to help out. You need to preserve this Ralts in play with the Bravery Charm. You might as well start to draw through and try to find something.
Yeah, and the Bravery Charm on the Ralts is really nice here for JW. Of course, the Bravery Charm only works on basic Pokemon, so once the Ralts evolves up into Curly, evolves into Gardevoird, it loses that boosted 50 HP, but it's doing what it needs to do right now because it's preventing Boss's orders on the Solrock just KOing that lone Ralts.
For Miloslav, the name of the game is pretty simple. You are item locked. You need to just keep trucking through your deck, and you have a way to do that with Lunar Cycle. See some more resources, and you already have the knockout lined up, but what else can you make of this? And this is a nice turn. You can slow things down on your side. and start to accelerate those energies onto the Mega Mawile. You're taking prize cards slowly but surely with the Soul Rock. Eventually, they add up and start to lead into bigger KOs.
Yeah, and one of the best responses to item lock plays is being able to find a consistent attacker that doesn't need much. And for this build of Gholdengo, that is the Mega Mawile EX. Gobble down 80 damage for each prize card you have taken throughout the game. So now, with that one prize card being taken, that will mean Miloslav can KO any non-Bravery Charmed Frillish that comes up. Now, we know for JW, his list is actually not super heavy into using Frillish. Oh, what a top deck there. Rare Candy into the Gardevoird. That is a nice find. Tons of Psychic Energy already in the discard pile. This is looking nice for JW. He's going to restart for one.
Oh!
Ino.
How many times can we hit the graphic in a row? Let's
2 more cards now from that Mystery Garden. There is the Luxurious Cape, a card that we've seen an uptick in play this weekend, specifically in Gardevoird builds. Lots of players choosing to play it right now.
Yeah, just any way to increase those stats and maybe reach for knockouts that your opponent is not ready for. It's not the time for that just yet. We did see the Drifloon at some point. This could be a great answer to the massive HP, 270 of the Mega Mawile. For now, it's about just establishing. There are so many Psychic Energies to work with. That Rare Candy Gardevoird, I cannot state enough, was everything for him this turn.
Worth noting for JW, off of the Ino that he's just played, that was his 3rd Ino, I do believe, of the game. And that's a really big card in this matchup. Yes, 3 Ino in the discard pile. He's only going to have 1 more, Kyle, and as the game goes on, that's the card you want to be leaning into.
Yeah, cannot understate that enough, as you see that when you're playing against a deck like Gholdengo on the other side, they build their hand up. And if you let them have every resource of their deck, there's no possible way to keep up with what they're capable of. And with just 1 more Iono left this early on in the game, you have to think that Miloslav's going to have the reach for big KOs.
There's an attachment of a Darkness Energy to the benched Monkey Dory. Psychic Embrace, a Psychic onto the active. JW's maybe thinking about using Evolution here, maybe thinking about retreating into Screamtail to take a KO. Not quite sure what he wants to do. He's thinking through it.
Yeah, to that Dark Energy as well. That's the 3rd one that we've seen already, with a couple in the discard pile now. We've seen the Super Rod discarded as well. So you're really committing at this point. You have to have these stick around if you want to be able to move any damage counters throughout the rest of this game.
He could KO the active Soul Rock even here with a Mind Bend after using Adrenabrain to move 3 over to the active. So that's a play for him if he wants it. He's going to spread it to the bench, it looks like. Now, something else to note for JW's list here, there is no Technical Machine Devolution in the list, you know, typical of these non-jelly builds. And he is going to retreat into Screamtail. It looks like Roaring Scream is going to be lined up here.
Yeah, with damage already on 1 Gimmighoul and a clear chance at removing another one now, you can remove that Pokemon from play, and you may have a read that your opponent is struggling to set up their Gholdengos on the other side. And if you take a peek at those prize cards, you'll identify pretty quickly Miloslav's still in a lot of trouble.
He does have Genesect in hand, so that's a guaranteed way to find a Gholdengo, but it's not usually a Pokemon you love having to put in play against Gardevoird if you can avoid it.
And if there were ever a world where J-Dub didn't know what was happening on the other side or needed some affirmation, this Nest Ball not finding Gimmighoul is everything for him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe unless Pheasantipity came down, right? You may think Miloslav wants Pheasantipity maybe a little bit more right now, and I think that is the line he's going for. But yeah, I mean, certainly after Miloslav draws a bunch of cards this turn, JW will be keyed in. Oh, no more Gimmighouls? Interesting.
A dangerous spot for both players now, really just back against the wall on both sides as we see Miloslav piloting through those prize cards, J-Dub piloting through that discard pile and awkward opening hand. But you have to give the favor right now to J-Dub. He's made something of this. The Gardevoird really turned things around. He has so many resources now to fight back, and it's on Miloslav to start finding the resources.
Yeah, Miloslav really does need to find a way to get that 1 Gimmighoul back, the Night Stretcher, in order to bring it back from the discard pile. Actually, I'm not...
Just Super Rod.
Yeah, just Super Rod. So it's going to have to be that in order to find the Gimmighoul, and we don't see it. Yeah, just the 1 Super Rod is super interesting to see. He's got that Mawile with an energy on it already. It does look like he is committing to the Genesect here, so we'll be able to use the ability Metallic Signal to search his deck for 2 Evolution Metal-type Pokemon, and it will be a pair of Gholdengo EX added now to his hand. Yeah, protecting that Gimmighoul that's got some damage on it.
Starts to give him a little more play here at this point. It's not going to be a great attacker by any means, but just starting to get through the deck at this stage is optimal. You need to draw cards, you need to see resources, and eventually you'll threaten those big one-hit KOs, but for now, you've got the knockouts lined up for yourself. You have Screamtail that you can work out at any points, but for now, feels great just removing this Ralts from play, and then maybe can go after that Gardevoird later on.
And interesting as well with the Picnic Basket, a little added effect here. It heals 30 from all Pokemon in play, not just yours, your opponents as well. So Miloslav has actually healed JW's Screamtail, which could make things a little awkward for him.
Yeah, with as many psychic energy that he has in the discard pile, it hurts a little less, but it's still a pretty big commitment.
I mean, yeah, if he puts too many in play on the Screamtail, then now Boss's Orders stall Gardevoird for a turn becomes a play, right?
Right. We already saw a loss of Super Rod. We've seen all 3 Dark Energies already in play or discard pile at this point in time. You need to consider every resource if you're to go for another Screamtail play.
And I think Miloslav is probably trying to play towards keeping KOing JW's only Gardevoird on this next turn, right? JW is going to probably have a hard time getting another Ralts down, and now with the bench of the Drifloon, he won't get another Ralts down unless a Professor Turo scenario were to be played, but no, it is actually going to be the 4th and final copy of Iono.
Wow, yeah, a huge commitment at this stage of the game. Needs to limit the hand size, but also needs to find some resources for himself now, and you just can't do much with the way that this bench played out. Committing to the Drifloon, you don't have any additional draw with a Pheasantipity. You don't have additional Ralts to rare candy at some point. This is everything for him. He needs this hand to go the rest of the way.
Monkey Door in the active, of course, able to retreat. That would give access for JW to more energy cards in the discard pile to play around with, more options available to him. He's going to do just that. It will be Screamtail most likely coming to the active spot, sure enough. That Pokemon comes up. No Darkness Energy was found for JW, and by that I mean no Night Stretcher to get back the Darkness Energies that are in the discard pile.
I mean, there was one in the hand before Iono, and he chose not to play it this turn. Just may have a read that this is going to be a game where you're going to need to find a Ralts or something else at this point, because you're going to be trying to find any solutions if this Gardevoird were to fall. So this is kind of that hedge play. You put enough energies onto this Screamtail to cause some disruption, but mainly you have one big Pokemon, if your Gardevoird gets KO'd, that will remain in play while you set up Ralts.
JW will just use Roaring Scream on the active here, KOing the Solrock. So that does give Miloslav a little bit less draw. Lunatone's Lunar Cycle ability does require you to have a Solrock in play if you want to use it. Miloslav will, of course, send up Gholdengo EX. Getting that extra draw from coin bonus, never bad.
What a unique game that we're in now with, with the way that these cards have played out. As far as metal energies go, you already have 2 on your Mega Mawile. If it were to ever be Gholdengo attacking, you just have a fighting energy there at the point, which is quite a hindrance if you need to reach for big KOs. I don't see anything that really answers this Gardevoird at any point in time. You might just have to play JW's game right now and open up these energies.
Yeah, Miloslav really kind of held back by his prize cards here. I mean, his options are much more limited than he would certainly like. Is going to use Genesect here, getting out a couple cards. There will just actually be 1 Gholdengo EX added to the hand. I think another one was found off the Iono, and of course 1 is prized. So that's all 4 of them accounted for. They'll be able to potentially use these as discard fodder for Secret Box, as they're not going to become Goldengos probably at any point.
Yeah, it very well might be a single Gholdengo game for the rest of this match. Doesn't have to worry about hand disruption anymore on this side. So this is the turn where you can really build up the hand and start going for a ton of resources. And all things starting now with that Fez.
He did just draw into the Hops Cramorant, so that's an option here this turn with JW being at 4 prize cards for him to use a single prize Pokemon to take a KO. He's also got the option to attach another energy to the Mega Mawile, and he could actually Boss's Orders KO Mew EX using that second attack of the Mega Mawile, 260 damage with the huge bite. Take that out, and then he's setting himself up to close the game out by using a Gholdengo EX to KO Gardevoird. That could be a line he goes for. Now, he has already played quite a few boss. He is playing 4 in his list this weekend, though.
Yeah, and that's pretty helpful at this point in time. You know that if you see that boss, it will be in your hand for the rest of the game. We see one already now. We see Secret Box to go along with that. So if you want to chain these together, by all means, add it to the hand now. You know that you'll have access to it later on.
Yeah,
he can basically line up game right now if he has both those resources and the superiors to go along with them.
Yeah, that'll be the thing, is does he have enough energy cards to take down the 310 HP of Gardevoird? And also he has to consider the potential threat of the Frillish coming back as well, and that item locking him and slowing things back down. But I guess with the Mega Mawile, he'd feel kind of okay with that line.
Just a few other things to consider now as starts to thin down a little more. You see, this is a nice inclusion if you can have that Solrock added into the game, but I don't know how he's grabbing that just yet with Secret Box.
I think we're missing a card there, yep.
Yeah, you kind of got to pick one if you're going for the Fighting Gong or the Earthen Vessel. And
yeah. Can't get Nest Ball and Fighting Gong with Earthen Vessel being found. And Artisan, of course, is in the prizes. That would be a way he could get that Solrock out. And yeah, just 1 stadium in this list. Not going to find one off the Artisan here. We'll play Nest Ball, though. He's got that in hand. At least he's got that working for him.
Well, that makes a lot more sense now. And this leads to some more draws. And regardless of what they are at this point in time, just having the fodder will be important for Miloslav, building the hand size up so that it's less cards to draw into later on. But mainly, when you use Superior Energy Retrieval, you will need those cards to discard so that you can keep up in this race.
Lunar Cycle discards, draws 3, another Fighting Energy, another Fighting Gong added now to the hand. And looks like we're going to see a lot of item cards being used here, playing around potential Frillishes, making sure that he's got access to everything. Actually, do see 4 Metal Energy in this list. Yep. So he's got that extra one. Pretty typical, I think, from these Mega Mawile builds.
It's quite a commitment to get the second Metal Energy onto the Mawile, but once you do, you still want to have access to the Gholdengo as an attacker. So nice inclusion there. And we see the last energy of the deck now from the Fighting Gong. That's a nice addition to the hand as you have a way to not only close out with the Mega Mawile, but have that backup attacker in the Gholdengo if you need to.
And I think we're going to just see a lot of items being used. Not sure how many energy cards are in the discard pile, but at least 4 of them are coming back here now with Superior Energy Retrieval. And oh, it's a big commitment to get rid of another Superior here, but if he's thinking he might not be able to play items anyway, maybe it's worth it. It's only 2 Fighting Energy in the discard pile right now, so it's not getting back much, but might think it's enough.
I mean, we could see this kind of played the other way around, as you're used to maybe considering the huge bite. But if you go with the Gholdengo as the first attacker into the Mew, it's only the 4 energies discarded, and then you can follow that up with Gobble Down as you take the 320 KO into the Gardevoird. So you still have access to it, and you know you'll have the energy later on. And J-Dub sees the writing on the wall. The hand was built perfectly. All the Ionos were gone. You can't do much else from there.
Yeah, it makes sense there for Miloslav to go with the Gholdengo first, and then would try to close things out with the Mega Mawile. And wow, what a game for Miloslav to navigate. It was certainly an awkward one, but he found a line, even with a couple Gimmigles prized, even with a couple Gholdengos prized, the Artisan being, I mean, it was all bad for him.
Yes, yeah, I mean.
He was able to close it out.
You see 2/2 Gholdengo in there, and you think, oh, it can't get much worse than that. But then the one copy of Artisan really added an additional level of hindrance there. It's crazy to think that he was able to not only overcome all of that, but then do it in a resounding fashion where his opponent just knows that there's no way to come back there. And for J-Dub, it's quite the other end of the coin as he's just trying to get anything set up for himself and just happens to find the wrong resource over and over again.
Let's recap that game number 1. Miloslav was able to kick things off with a KO onto the Frillish, taking that down, taking an early prize card. And it's really because of the Soul Rock working in several KOs that Miloslav was able to find a way to win this game. If he didn't have Soul Rock as something to kind of lean on, he would have been in a really awkward spot.
Yeah, worked out so well for him, just taking the additional prize cards and really making sure that you don't feel that loss of inclusion of the Gholdengos as you see the 2/2 prize cards. Makes it so that he's continuing to advance his board state, and if your opponent plays a slow game, that's when the Mega Mawile feels that much more impactful. It does a little more than Megalop Honey in that situation of, let's play this slow game. I'm all ears for it. Let's go.
All right, and these hands are being drawn. It looks like JW is going to choose to go second here, trying to hopefully get himself a little bit better of a setup. Let's not forget how slow things were for JW in that first game, and Miloslav is going to kick off his very first turn of game number 2, and he has got the pink card. Pink card alert, Kyle.
Okay, the one time that it's better than your prime catcher, it's when it's in your opening hand going first with no other Pokemon in play.
Yep.
This looks pretty nice.
And when you're in JW's seat and you see that right there, 3 cards laid face down, you just have to know. Secret Box is on the way. Not before Nestball, though. Maybe JW hold on to a little bit of hope, and does look like Nestball is eyeing up Genesect right away. Gonna put that down and try to get some Gholdengos into this hand so that he can potentially get himself multiple pieces to work with. And actually, this could work out really well for Miloslav to find a little more discard fodder, right? He knows he's got all 4 Gholdengos in the deck, so now he can discard one of them from a secret box.
Yeah, gets that information as well as that opening deck search. You see a little bit of what you're working with, and does not have Mega Mawile this time around. Don't know if you really need it, though, as this looks like it will be a very fast setup this time around. You can search out with the secret box, find that Buddy Puffin, and really start to flood the board. Plays 2 copies, so we'll easily have access to that now. And when you have all the Gimmigles, you start drawing like crazy.
That Mega Mawile being in the prize cards is definitely a little awkward for Miloslav. Normally the answer to the Frillish lines that these Gardevoird players like to go with, but and Miloslav doesn't know for certain that JW is only playing the 1 Frillish. He only saw 1, but there's a chance that the second one could have been prized for JW, right? Usually these players won't put the Jellicent in play in this matchup anyway, so I think Miloslav will probably still operate like this is a Jelly Guardy build, but Secret Box will be used now, discarding the Gholdengo EX, and then Arven and Boss's Order is hitting the discard pile.
Yeah, just an embarrassment of riches to work with at this side of the table. Has access to so much now, and with the Earthen Vessel, you'd see those energies that you can often be missing out on in the early stages of the game. This leads into whether it's the additional Gimme Ghouls that you can see or even that Lunar Rock package. That could be everything for getting this early setup.
Does look like Arven, Earthen Vessel, Artisan, and Vitality Band will be added to Miloslav's options. No, it will be Boss's Orders instead added to the hand. A little awkward to put down the Artisan early on, as it is going to be something that JW is able to utilize on his opening turn, but I think Miloslav is okay with the trade-off if it means he can guarantee 2 Gholdengo EX in play next turn.
And this is cute for Miloslav. He had access to Buddy Buddy Puffin, finding the Gimme Ghouls, playing it slow, but with that additional Lunatone in hand, he can search out the Soul Rock now with the Artisan and just draw. Just burn through the deck, see some more cards, and maybe have access to that aggro Soul Rock strategy once more.
So as of now, Miloslav will end this turn with just 1 Gimme Ghoul in play. So that's probably what he's hoping to find here off the incoming Lunar Cycle, is just a way to get down 1 more Gimme Ghoul here.
And not too much to ask from your deck. You have a few different ways to draw into that, and you know you'll see the Gholdengos from the Genesect on the following turn.
Here we go.
What's he looking at?
Lunar Cycle 1, 2, and 3. That is 2 Boss's Orders, and I believe Superior
Ooh,
no, Nest Ball!
Ball!
The final card found. Thought it was the Superior, but no, Nest Ball is found. So that does mean the Gimme Ghoul is going to come into play almost certainly.
And you can see a bit of a wince from Miloslav as the first 2 cards we're seeing, but that third one makes it all worth it. The risk pays off here, and he's got pretty much the perfect board to start off this game now. And for J-Dub, he's got 19 minutes to figure this out, and it doesn't look great with a Lily Skull Fairy.
Yeah, JW's got 2 opponents now, both Miloslav and the Clock working against him, so he's going to have to kind of try to fly through this opening turn here, figure out a way back into this game. Miloslav has actually found all 4 copies of his Boss's Orders in this opening turn, right? He drew 2, he took 1 off a Secret Box, he discarded 1 from Secret Box, so all 4 have hit his hand here to kick off the game.
And it's going.
Yep, it's going down to the bottom of the deck here, and that is kind of a downside to drawing those Boss's Orders, right? We'd love to have them floating around in the deck so we could potentially draw into one here, go after a Ralts potentially. He's going to need a little bit of help, shuffle of the deck potentially with Artisan or Genesect before drawing.
Yeah, which seems pretty fine at this point in time, and really think the pressure is more so on J-Dub at this stage. He needs to have a quick setup here. And is it ever possible for him to get this set up without using every Iono in the deck? Because it seems like once more he has to favor that strategy. It's just not working out for him.
We'll just retreat this Lily Skull Fairy EX into the Screamtail and pass it over to Miloslav. Quick turn there from JW, but Miloslav's got a lot of actions upcoming, a lot of cards still to be drawn here. Of course, he's going to kick it off with Genesect, Metallic Signal, searching the deck for 2 Metal Evolution Pokemon. It will be a pair of Gholdengo EXs now.
Say hi to those Boss's Orders waiting for you down at the bottom of the deck. Give that a nice shuffle, as there's a few more Pokemon that you'd like to see knocked out at this time of the game, as double Ralts has been added to the board now. That pressure of KOing Ralts as opposed to working in any damage on other Pokemon feels so impactful.
Miloslav will fill the board here by getting down another Gimme Ghoul. 2 Gholdengo already in the discard pile, so he'll need to Super Odd if he wants to get another one into play. This also could lean into some sort of Professor Turo plays, though. Let's not forget, right? Something players used to love doing with Zoroark GX, right? Let one take a hit, use the trade, Acerola pick it up, use another trade. Something we see nowadays with trade and in Zoroark, and hey, Gholdengo can do it too.
Yeah, hit points are a resource, and so often players that maximize every resource that they have are the ones that can get themselves to tables like this, and where they can show off everything that they've got. And once more, this is just a great showing from both of our players. We've seen Miloslav really working through, trying to come up with an answer now. He's got access with the Soul Rock to some good attacks, but does he have to ever lean into Gholdengo here, or can he find that Boss's Orders?
Yeah, I wonder, if he found Boss, would he use it to take out a Ralts with the Soul Rock as a 1-prizer on 1-prizer, or would he go after the prizes that Lily Skull Fairy EX gives up?
Yeah, which isn't a bad call, too. You need to draw into your Mega Mawile. I'd say that that'd be a pretty great find for you, and if the more prizes you see early, it's just a better chance of finding that Pokemon, especially at the bottom.
Going to use the coin bonus on the benched Gholdengo EX, drawing just 1 card. Does not have that. He's got enough energy to knock out the Lily Skull Fairy EX, though. Let's not forget that thing is weak to metal here. So an attachment to the active. Did he get Boss's Orders?
I didn't see it. I think the supporter added was Arven to the hand.
It's going to miss out here. It does look like a Super Odd is probably being eyed up here, as we do see the Gholdengo EX and 2 fighting energies laid out. And sure enough, Super Odd is waiting there in the hand, shuffling those 3 in combination of Pokemon and energy cards into the deck. Fighting Gong can go fetch 1 out.
And this is all preparation for Frillish at this point in time. You want to see those energies. You need an answer to follow up and at least take that initial KO. But if you have upwards of 5 energies sitting in your discard pile on the turn that you choose to go for that, it could be hard to find the rest of those under item lock.
And I don't think Miloslav is going to be upset to see that JW sent up the Screamtail last turn. That is a pretty annoying Pokemon to deal with, so Miloslav KOing this Pokemon here is not going to really be too bad for him, as JW will be forced to find a recovery card if he wants to use Roaring Scream on his next turn.
Now it just leads to the question for Miloslav. Are you comfortable attacking, taking a KO with a couple energies here? Do you ever want to switch pace over to the Soul Rock? It doesn't feel great to leave damage counters on the board against a Gardevoird player. So
something kind of interesting, though, is hitting it for 80 does mean that JW wouldn't be able to Psychic Embrace to it. So worth noting that he wouldn't be able to get 2 energy on the Screamtail without working in a Monkey Dory. But we know that those Monkey Dories are just waiting in the wings, ready to work and make something happen, and we'll be able to get one established here with Earthen Vessel. Miloslav does take down the Screamtail, takes the first prize card of this game. He did take the Mega Mawile off the prizes, and JW is going to continue to move quickly here, trying to respond to the 4-minute turn of Miloslav with a much shorter one on his end, trying to find a way to get this into a Game 3.
Unfortunately, just 13 minutes remaining here for JW to find anything at this stage. He does have Iono. He can limit that hand size once more. Would rather see any other supporter at this point, basically, besides Turo to help out now. And since he doesn't have that, it's just Kirlia, Iono. Maybe you can find the magical pieces. We saw Rare Candy Gardevoird the last time. Maybe it happens once more.
Yeah, that's what he's going to need. Rare Candy Gardevoird and enough energy cards in the discard pile for that Drifloon to reach for a KO. This is a card that we have seen removed from most Gardevoird lists as of late. Now, Pedro Pertusi did, of course, win LAIC with Drifloon in his Jellicent Gardevoird deck, but for the most part, most players have left Drifloon in the binder for the past few tournaments. JW choosing to bring it out here this weekend. There will be another INO used, sending Miloslav's hand to the bottom of the deck. Miloslav gets 5. JW gets himself 6. I see the secret box there.
There's nothing else to go with it. I don't see any other Gardevoird rare candy piece to go alongside it, though. That just doesn't work out for you at this stage of the game.
Does he have no psychic energy? I was going to say he could draw a lot of cards here with the Mystery Garden.
Yeah.
So that's an option.
Is it ever Mystery Garden Earthen Vessel off of the secret box and just send it?
It might be that time. It doesn't look like he'd have to give up too much to do it. I mean, losing Super Odd's not ideal, but everything else in his deck, I don't think he minds losing. But no, he will just pass over to Miloslav here.
Oh, maybe the 2 psychic energies in the discard pile is starting to make an impression on him. He won't have access to even reach for the KO.
It's just so unlikely, I guess, off the 6 cards to draw into the exact combination of Rare Candy Gardevoird, right? So probably not worth it. I want to see him go for it, though, Kyle.
Yeah, you don't have much time. You're way over your head at this stage of the game. You need to do something impactful, and giving Miloslav another 2-3 minutes to draw cards is not helping you.
Yeah, I mean, just the nature of Miloslav's deck, it's going to take time, right? So many abilities to use, so many different actions to go through. Coin bonus, coin bonus, coin bonus, Lunar Cycle, and then think about what else you want to do, Arvin, if that gets into the mix, searching the deck, right? So it just naturally takes some time here, which, again, is one of JW's enemies right now. Fighting Gong used for Miloslav, finding either a basic fighting energy or Pokemon. Energy seems a bit more useful at this point, and that is indeed going to be the call. Still has Lunar Cycle available. And for Miloslav, I think he's fine with the turn, right? Taking a single prize KO keeps him on pace for the 2-2-2 line, right? Yep. Or I guess 1-1, 2-2, right?
It all adds up at some point. Closing out with that 2-prize knockout at the end of the game, and you're on pace for that here. You could maybe find the resources with the boss's orders to KO the Kirlia, slow things down. You saw your opponent struggle to get set up. The rare candy seemingly isn't being found, but is it worth it at this stage? Can you just wait, take this knockout, you know Gardevoir's coming, and then take out the Lilies Clefairy and the Gardevoir?
He actually brought his boss to the front here, so I wonder if he's debating going after Kirlia, forcing JW to potentially find a rare candy play.
I mean, this seems like a play that you make when you're up 1-0 with 40 minutes already off the clock, because you don't have to worry about if you're going to win this game. You just need to make sure that your opponent doesn't outright destroy you.
Yeah.
And taking out the Drifloon or the Kirlia at this stage, I guess either one of them could be a real big problem for your Gholdengo. As long as your Gholdengo survives one more turn, you feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah, the Drifloon can be KO'd by the Soul Rock, so that's probably the route he's wanting to go here, right? Get a bunch of energy cards back into the deck so that they're available if he... Oh, he's actually going to just get back 1. Going to leave a couple in the discard pile. Maybe he's keyed into JW's deck a little bit more, recognizing, hey, this is not a Jellicent build. He had a Frillish, but that might be just the 1 Frillish. But even that 1 Frillish might slow him down a little bit here. Frillish Countercatcher on Genesect does feel like a way for JW to get back into this.
Well, the resources are starting to go into JW's favor. At this stage, he finally has that secret box to use. He uses the Super Rod to now use the Artisan. Maybe could find that Drifloon once more. Has the Countercatcher to go with this. Just need to find what? A little more help with your Bravery Charm to get over the hump there. It's just
got to make sure he can get a Gardevoir. That's one piece here for sure.
But how do you do that? I guess he has to just grab bad cards to throw them away with Ultra Ball and then figure out the rest after the Iono.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to see. Ultra Ball is going to get rid of a couple of those cards found off the Secret Box, the TM Evolution and the Artisan. There is Gardevoird. Of course, Artisan can find any basic Pokemon out of the deck that he may want, being the Frillish, I have to imagine. No, Streamtail actually going to be the choice. So no Counter Catcher was found, so he's got Iono as his last card in hand. Going with the Streamtail here.
Yeah, I think the Frillish is a little too slow for the situation.
Right, with the time on the clock.
The Drifloon is still not a bad choice because you can always use the Counter Catcher, but is Screamtail into Genesect ever really getting you over the hump?
He does draw into Ultra Ball and a Psychic Energy, so that's more that he can put down. He did prize 2 Psychic Energy this game, so he's had a bit of trouble finding those. So that's definitely something he's happy to see. Yeah, I actually wonder, maybe something JW could have done is actually hold off on the Artisan use until after the Iono, see what he draws, see which attacker he wants to lean into.
Yeah, it's just a question of if you really are on that line, if you think that that's going to be the best play for you, you want to draw into the most resources. However, I do see your point there. I think that could have been pretty helpful.
Yeah, I think he was kind of already keyed in on the Roaring Scream here, which totally seems reasonable. So he's going to pull that card out of the deck and then draw cards to thin as much as possible. And yeah, sure enough, Roaring Scream loaded up, 60 damage on it. We're going to see the Psychic Embrace, putting those damage counters into play, Adrenabrain moving some over, and Roaring Scream takes out that Lunatone. Now back over to Miloslav here, see what he can do.
I mean, think about impactful plays right there. There's an Artisan already in play. You're removing the one Lunatone there now. If you find the second copy of that, you're already attacking with the Soul Rock. You see all these great resources you can run into, and there's still a world where Miloslav just ignores this Pokemon. There are 2 EX Pokemon in play. If Boss's Orders is found, you've already seen multiple copies of Iono. You can just go after the Gardevoird that already has 10 damage on it.
Maybe the best play here for Miloslav would be if he could Boss KO the Gardevoird plus bench the Mawile and attach to it. That feels like a pretty powerful turn here if he can pull it off.
Yep, gives you the perfect answer to if you are worried about the Frillish, but also there's only 6 minutes left. Let them Frillish. What could possibly go wrong for you at this stage?
A little confused about the sequencing here. Looks like it was Buddy Poffin, Artisan for the Lunatone, and then Nest Ball, but there's... Oh, no, he got
I'm assuming it's failed Buddy into Nest Ball just to thin the resource.
Okay. Oh, sure. He didn't use the Artisan, I think. Yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah, so he used the Buddy Poffin, said, got the Lunatone out, and then told JW, I have a Nest Ball. That's what the word we're getting. So all is good. No Artisan was used there. And, yeah, brings down the Lunatone. All is A-okay.
Okay, but
how is he going to approach this situation? So with the Lunatone coming down, it is more draw power. I think he's got to discard a Fighting Energy from the Soul Rock to retreat it. Yeah. Yep. No Latias in play right now, and coin bonus will draw a couple cards.
Yeah, it's a lot going on in this game for Miloslav, and he's got what he needs at this point in the game. You don't need anything else other than that boss and access to 6 energies. If you remove this Gardevoird from play, regardless of the consequences, that Frillish, yes, it would slow you down. Maybe in a 30-minute game, you would run into some trouble.
Right.
If you KO this Pokemon right here, right now, I think you are...
It's going to be hard for JW to win the game before 4.5 minutes is up.
Yep.
We are going to see the Earthen Vessel discards Arven, a couple more energy cards added to the hand. Hey, we can even see that Genesect start to get powered up, you know? That's something that can attack whether or not you've got superior energy retrieval access or not, right?
That could knock out a Lily's Clefairy at some point in time. And this is the hedge I suppose you can go for, too. If you're really nervous about your reach with the energies, you just remove this Pokemon for, only 3 energy, 2 energy. It's an easy knockout now, and...
He's actually debating the attachment to the Genesect here. I think if he was going to attach to Genesect, Boss's Orders on the Gardevoird maybe makes a little more sense. I think attaching now to Gholdengo is probably a bit stronger. Only 2 energy having to be discarded here. To take this KO, that is what we see. Metal Weakness coming into play. 200 damage and a knockout, down to 2 prizes for Miloslav. JW has played, I think, 3 Iono this game, so he's got 1 available, but he doesn't have it in his hand. So it is going to have to be Lily's Determination as the supporter. JW, it really feels like has just found his cards in the wrong order.
Yeah, Miloslav actually baiting right now with the Frillish. He has 3 superior energy retrieval in hand. Could have easily searched out some energies for this situation if he was truly worried about this Frillish. Instead, he just says, I'm completely okay with this. If you want to hit me for 20 over and over again, I will sit here with my superior energy retrievals and wait my time.
Psychic Embrace once, attach for turn once onto the Gardevoird, up to 3 damage counters on it. Of course, Monkey Dory's Adrenabrain can remove some of that if he needs it. JW did find Bravery Charm, so he actually could reach for a KO on the Gholdengo EX here in the active spot if he wanted to.
But he's staring down some bad news. Without that Iono, there was no hand disruption. There are 3 superior energy retrievals in hand. And there is a very important supporter card to go along with that.
I'm seeing the boss for Miloslav. He's just got to make sure he's got enough cards, and I think he's going to. In order to discard enough with the superiors and KO the Gardevoird. And yeah, sure enough, showing him the hand, JW extends his, and Miloslav moves to 7-1 here in Toronto.
Yep. Oh, I was wondering if we'd still get a chop out of it, and we get the chop even though it's a little more somber.